And here we are. Here at this point is right where we are. Debate me. Go ahead, debate me. We are here. You are here. I am here. So, here we are. Just like to say welcome. Just welcome. If you're a new sub, or if this is your first time ever listening to the TrapHouse podcast, hey, thanks for showing up. It does more than you know. I'm talking about. It does more than you know. Have you thought about it lately? Have you ever thought about it? Now, I get it. A lot of you will be thinking about some dangerous clown who likes little children. But that's not the it I'm talking about. Have you ever just thought about it? And if you have, let me know what you think about it. Because it, to me, is not. It couldn't possibly be anything other. These are facts and my opinions, folks. You already know this. But I'll just keep telling you because, because. But I do have a quick question. Today. This question is asked quite often. It's asked all the time. All the time. Everybody asks this question. I mean, if you haven't asked this question, then you're probably not around humans, I guess. But this question right here, it's, how have you been? I just want to ask you guys and gals and everyone in between, how have you been? And the reason why I want to ask, how have you been? Because I just want to boil down that question, how have you been? How have you been? First off, there's two words in there that, you just don't need. You just don't need them. I know this is going to get very confusing for humans that are human and have been human for however long they've been human. But to hear this, how have you been? And the generic answer is fine, okay. Going through it. Just another day. You know how it goes. Chasing that dollar. That's not what I asked, and that's not the question that's ever asked. The question is, how have you been? I'm going to change it up, though. Because that's what we like to do here at the TrapHouse podcast. We like to change shit up. We like to do not do what everyone else is to do. So what I'm going to do and propose and offer up to all the English majors out there is let's take these two words out of there. Let's take out how, and then let's take out have. Just going to take those two words, because they're definitely not things, because if you were to say things, I don't know how you say things, but I know how to say words, because if you were to say things, imagine the stuff that came out of your mouth. Imagine if you were to say things. But you can't say things. You have to say words. But let's just say this. We take away how and we take away have. You been? You be? You be? Still a question. But to me, a more precise question. You be? Tell me more about how you be. But in fact, you be? Just boiling it down a little bit. Just let's take away some words. And how have you been can actually be said this way. You be? Now, a lot of people can't really answer that anymore. A lot of human beings who are currently existing or currently just breathing and going through the motions, how can you possibly be if in fact you're not? You be? Let's break out of this going through the motions bullshit. To go through the motions, to continually do over and over and over again and expect something different or expect a new path. If you're doing the same and you continually do the same, how is it that you will ever progress or change or how? Unless you break away from the norm. And what's the norm? It's a shortened word for the word normal. How do you break away from what is normal? Well, just do. And just do something different. It's actually quite simple to do something different. If you're currently doing something, just do something different. Well, what do you mean, Epiphany Chris? It's easier to, this is a phrase, it's easier said than done. Really? It's easier to say you want to do something than it is to actually just do it? To just do? I doubt that very much. I doubt it. If you debate that, or if you have a different view of point, let me know. But in fact, how have you been? No thanks. You be? Ah, that's better. Because in fact, if you invert it, be you. So simple. And then if we throw all them other words back in there, have you been you? How have you been you today? Have you been being you today? Let's not get confused, folks. Let's not get confused. Let's just stick to something easy. It's simple. Super simple. Just be you, right? It's simple. It's 3 words, but you don't even need the just. But you can say just be you, but in fact, be you. It's so simple. It's so simple. And if you thought about it, it makes it even more simple. How have you been? No thanks. You been? You be? Well, that's great to hear. Just be you. Because anybody who tries to get more out of you than what you are, well, that's not really right, is it? Well, what if I don't want to do that? Well, don't do it. Well, what if I choose to do this? Well, choose to do that. Well, everybody else is doing this. Well, fuck everybody else. Everybody else isn't choosing for them. They're not choosing to be them. They're not choosing to be you. They're choosing to be what everybody else is. And I'm saying, clearly, definitively, just be you. Break away from this fucking nonsense, because it's getting a little ridiculous. It's getting very ridiculous out here in this world that we're all a part of. We are all a part of it. We are all here. We're all here. It's just crazy how we make things more difficult than they need to be. But anyways, look at episode 24. Episode 24 of the TrapHouse podcast is hitting the waves. It's gonna catch a wave and it's gonna ride its way out onto the web. And I'm glad. Woo-hoo, I'm glad. So chipper that you're listening and carrying on in some nonsense as opposed to the other nonsense. It's I don't really like using the word, but it's scary. It's truly scary to see what's happening. But you know how we do here. You know how we do at the Trap House Podcast. We don't neglect what's going on in the world. It's just we ask questions about why humans are attracted to this type of madness. We just ask questions around here. And then we answer them ourselves. But, why would we try to get answers from anyone else? It would just be playing into somebody else's you-ness. So, I'm going to be me today. And we're going to jump right into the here's something to think about from last week. Last week I had asked, have we as humans failed? Have we as humans failed? I know I've failed. I know I have failed quite a bit in the span of life that I've been given so far. I've failed a lot. I've failed math classes. I've failed Spanish classes. I've failed to yield. I've failed to pass a drug test. I've failed numerous things in my time here. And I could say, without a shadow of a doubt, that most of you out there have failed as well. At something. Did you set a goal? Did you fail to reach it? Did you stop at a red light and fail to read the sign that said no turn on red? And then you turned on red anyway? Have you ever tried to break the jump rope world record and failed? Have you ever started sucking someone off and failed to finish? Have you ever done and didn't finish? You failed. You failed. You failed. Look, failure is something that we've all done. We've all failed. We've all failed. But did we stop? Have we given up? Have you put down the pen? Have you put down your goal? Have you just stopped? Because you failed? Have we as humans failed? I can say that we've failed at a lot of things. I can say that we've failed at reaching what we were reaching for and we just didn't get it. I do believe, in some sense, that humans have failed because we've all failed. The downside to this failure is when you accept it. And I believe that humans are now accepting failure. I see it everywhere. I see it everywhere. I mean, Minecraft is a thing. Mein Kampf is a thing. These are things that humans have allowed. These are things that humans take part in. These are things that humans read about. They talk about it. It's on the internet. Minecraft, Mein Kampf, sounds pretty similar to me. But they are still both present in our society today. Have we as humans failed? How many overweight humans are there on the planet? How many? How many? There's overweight people, though. There's overweight human. And we blame most of it on disease? I think it's an eating problem. But have we as humans failed? When obesity is a problem in the world? Humans are disease-ridden. Disease-ridden. Everywhere you look, there's a disease that somebody has. Look around. Oh, that person has a disease. They have, what is it? Oh, they're addicted to playing video games. That's a disease. Wait a minute. There's another human over there. What's he do? He's drinking a 40 on the corner. He's got a disease. He's got alcoholism. That's a disease. Wait a minute. What is that? That's a new disease? Look there's a human over there choosing not to do something. He's got a disease. She's got a disease. They have a disease. We're all inclusive at the TrapHouse podcast. So if we're disease-ridden, everybody's got a fucking disease. Have we as humans failed? When was the last time you didn't hear the word peace without war attached to it? When was the last time you heard about everyone getting along without somebody not getting along at the end? Constant conflict. We're consumed by constant conflict. With each other, with animals, with water. We're definitely fighting water all the time. Everybody, all over the globe, all over the flat earth, all over the hidden places in earth, we are all facing constant conflict. And then the main conflict that humans are facing is conflict with each other. Have we as humans failed? We've evolved into a species of attention whores. The entire human experience has been brought to this point where we, as human, are nothing but starving attention whores. I don't have to say any more than these few things, because if you just think about it, have we as humans failed? Being that I've had, the week to think about it, and I've thought about it a little bit, just a little bit. And obviously, I like to start small, so I start with myself and I ask myself, hey, Epiff, have you ever failed? Fuck yeah, dude. Of course. I fail mostly every day. I fail all the time. I fail here. I fail there. And then to think beyond just the singular, you think as the mass. And I've got to answer this question factually, in my opinion, and say yes. We as humans have failed. And we as human continue to choose to fail. It's sad, man. It's sad, for sure. It's sad. Sad is a word. But it's sad to see. It is so sad to see that we as humans choose to fail. And if you can't see it, just look out your fucking window. Stop for a moment, in an instance, and look around you. If you see human with other human out and about doing human things, and they are glued to a device as opposed to living in an instance, we failed. We failed. If you've ever watched a video where somebody is being attacked, or if an animal is attacking, or if in fact you have ever watched a video where something is taking place and someone who could prevent that something from taking place is recording as opposed to being human and helping, raise your hand. That just proves that we as humans have failed. We failed. And I'm the guy to say, let's just fucking restart. Let's restart. It's not up to me. It's not up to you. It's up to everyone. It's up to everyone. To get the fuck out of this failure. You gotta get the fuck out of it. And you know how you do it? You know how you do it? You start saying no. You just say no. Hey, this new thing's coming out. No, thank you. Hey, this new place. No, thank you. This new. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Be happy with what you have. Because if you are currently happy with it, what do you need something new for? Why, as humans, are we chasing new? I'll tell you why. Because we failed as human. Now, what are you gonna fucking do about it? I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let you in on here's something to think about for next time. Here's something to think about for the future episode of the TrapHouse podcast. What if? Just two simple words. What if? Now, I encourage you, go out and think. Maybe look, too, because looking is very important. And then also seeing is very important. And then acknowledging what you see and look at is also very important. So when you see and look at and hear the things around you, make wise choices. Make a wise choices. Make a wise choices. You must make wise choices. Because if not, we'll just be doing the two-step backwards for all the rest of humanity. I'm gonna two-step back and two-step back some more. I'm gonna two-step back, two-step back some more. Just keep on walking backwards until we fucking bump into our future selves in the future past. But what do I know? Let's just keep as humanity going backwards. That's what we gotta do. Let's just keep fucking going backwards. 2 thumbs up from Epiphany Chris. Aha! 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 Now let me tell you what all the craze is about. There's a lot of craze about this water in a can. Oh my goodness, it's delicious. It really brings out the flavor of the water when they put it in a can. And since it's something that we like to do here at the TrapHouse podcast, I'd like to just point out a few things about reality. Reality. You know, what's presumed to be your life when you see and when you hear and when you think about the things that you see and hear, you should be able to come to a conclusion that this isn't right. There's no way that this is how human is supposed to live. So let me take you down a couple of thought paths. Okay? Grab my pinky. We're gonna tiptoe down a little thought path. Just randomness. So that it'll take your mind off of nonsensical bullshit. The stuff that's drawing you to it. You know, like, what's the weather gonna be like tomorrow? You know? What disease is gonna come out tomorrow? When's the next war? I wonder. How about this? Just, let's go down this little thought path together. I'm going to just tell you a story. Here's a story. Last year, or the year prior, I'm the type of human that just if I can be outside, that's where I'm going to be. Outside. Not inside. Not in my cave. But outside. Where there's air to breathe. Where there's sunshine to kiss your cheeks. Where there's allergens to breathe in. Where there's flowers to give a little sniff. So, a couple years ago, your head don't really fucking matter, do it? Sometime in the past, I had left the dog toys out and about in the yard because I had been out playing with the dogs. Well, you know, I leave them out there because, you know, it's my yard. It's my yard. Who's gonna come and take my dog toys out of the yard? Well, here's the story. So the dog toys are out in the yard, and I went out a couple days later to go, to go play out in the yard again with the pups. Dun dun dun. No dog toys in the yard. What the fuck? Where did the toys go? I know I didn't mow over them. I know nobody picked them up because I'm the guy who picks everything up. So, I wonder for a moment. And then I wonder a little bit more. And then, I see the neighbor dog. The neighbor dog. And I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Did you fucking take my toys? So I do the whole march on over to the neighbor's house. Knock on the door. Ding, 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 ding. Hey, you see that toy that's right over there by the tree? That's my dog's toy. Oh, yeah, sorry, man. My dog does that. Wait, what? Your dog does what, exactly? He just takes stuff out of people's yards. Okay. Teach him not to, right? But anyway, all good. I got the toy back. Now recently, I get an alert while I'm out and about doing my things, and while I'm out doing, I get an alert, and what do I see on the camera? The neighbor dog just trotting on over. He just trots on over, picks up a bucket, and just walks away with it. I'm dealing with a kleptomaniac, but a dog klepto. This dog will steal anything. He takes anything. Dog toys, bucket, it don't matter. He just comes over, boop, boop, boop. Oh, it's not tied down? I'm taking it. Now, if this was a human, human stuff would go down. But it's a dog thief. What do you do with a dog thief? What do you do? How do you handle that shit? This dog just steals shit. It's a thieving dog. Just full of thievery, this dog is. What do you do about that? But I'll be damned, and I'll tell you this. Not too much longer later, the bucket was put back. No shit. It was put back. Isn't that silly? Now, let's think about this. How do you get out of your winter slump? How do you do it? You know, winter's here. When it's here. And, you know, what is this? Water does something up in the air, and it gets too chilly or too cold. And when the water starts to fall, it crystallizes. Turns into, I don't know, snow. For some, they don't see snow. Others, they see a shit ton of snow. Some just, you know, it never snows. But how do you get out of your winter slump? And by slump, I mean, you know, that period of time where you don't do shit. Where it's like, nah, I don't want to do it. Too cold. Nah. Movement? No thanks. Staying warm? Absolutely. I'm going to do that, but nothing else. How do you get out of your winter slump? Well, I'll tell you how I get out of my winter slump. Just act like it's another day. Hey, today's today, right? Is it nice out? Oh, awesome. You gonna go do? Sure. So just do. Doesn't take much, really. It really doesn't take much, I don't think, to get out of a winter slump, but I don't know. That's how I do it. You just do. Just do. And be you. Just do and be you. Or be you and do. Be you and do. But do for you. That's key. Doing for others. Well, I was told this once. If somebody isn't doing for themselves, don't do shit for them. I heard that somewhere. It makes sense, so why not? Nailed it! To the cross. Listen, folks, it's been a pleasure. It's been just one more of them episodes where it's just like, you know, what's up? How are things? Are you doing? If you're not doing, go do. It's so simple. Go do. I mean, don't do what you're told, right? I mean, in some instances, I guess, do what you're told. But in most all other instances, you have to make those choices. So make wise choices. I can't say it enough. 3 simple words. Make wise choices. It's getting to be in this life, it seems that things are just breaking down. The social construct is definitely broken down. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. The internet has completely made everything worse. The ability to know and to see everything before you even do it makes it so that going out and doing those things doesn't seem as enjoyable, right? I don't know. There used to be a time when, hey, we're going on a family vacation. How do we get there? I don't know. We use this fucking little map thing, I guess. And then when we get there, how do we know what's going on when we get there? Well, that's the best part about not knowing. Is not knowing. And then once you get to know, you want to know more. So be retarded like me. Just be retarded like me. Maybe your eyes will actually be opened to something new or to something you'd want to know more about. I encourage you all I encourage you. Ask questions. Don't stop asking questions. Don't just be told. Ask questions. Folks, it was a pleasure having you all here today. Again, shout out to the new subs. Thanks for showing up. Like, comment, make sure you subscribe so you can get more of this great nonsense. Because nonsense now is better than the nonsense they're feeding you. And remember, folks, these are all facts, in my opinion. So go out and be the best you can be. I encourage you to.